picture me last week in my kitchen. It's about 8 o'clock, and as the father of 2 young boys, me and my wife have got through the routine. The dinner, the homework, the bath, pajamas. Boys are sound asleep in bed, and my wife's got all kinds of household things. As the CEO of Gouge, she's got laundry to do and all that. And so household chores, I got to be really honest, are not my thing. Not something I enjoy. But knowing that she's got so much on her plate, I want to step in and help out where I can. So I'm doing the dishes, and my latest thing I do is I do the dishes, and I've got my phone next to me, and I listen to a podcast. I've got a variety of different podcasts I listen to, and I enjoy them. So, fellow Toastmasters, guests, I was unwillingly doing something that I heard in the podcast called temptation bundling. Without me even knowing it, I was doing something that I didn't necessarily enjoy while doing something that I really enjoyed. Because these podcasts, when I'm stuck in traffic, I'll listen to them. When I'm doing the dishes, I'll listen to them, and it makes it enjoyable to me. So now, when I know I have to drive 45 minutes to a signing, and it might be traffic driving out to Roseville, I think to myself, well, gosh, I can listen to this whole podcast. And I enjoy it for that reason. So, temptation bundling is something I learned about, ironically enough, listening to a podcast. I was listening to a Freakonomics radio podcast, and there's been a lot of research done on this topic. Some might have heard the term commitment device, and they're a little bit different, whereas a commitment device is something where if I don't do this, I'm going to punish myself in this way. If I don't go to the gym, then I'm going to force myself to put $10 into this account. Some to that effect. But temptation bundling, the way that the person who did the research explained it, and it really made sense to me, is combining 2 activities. One is instantly gratifying, and the other one may be unpleasurable at the moment of engagement. So if you think about my example, doing the dishes isn't necessarily something that's exciting. At the end of it, I'm going to feel gratified that I did it. But at the moment of engagement, it's like, gosh, I got to do the dishes. So I bundle that with something that's instantly gratifying to me, listening to this podcast. And the cool thing about temptation bundling is some of these things can be more enjoyable together. So now, when I think about the dishes, I think about it as an enjoyable experience because I'm going to be listening to something I enjoy. Another good example of that can be, you've got a favorite TV show that you might stream on Netflix. If you watch that while you're walking on a treadmill, you are going to not only enjoy the show more because you got endorphins going, you're working out, but you're going to think about working out as maybe something that, gosh, I'm going to go home and catch up on these 2 shows I missed. And so it was when I listened to it, I go, that's amazing, that's awesome. And last week when we talked about New Year's resolutions, I thought to myself, now this is one way where you can implement it, where it not only is enjoyable, but you can make it a habit. And that's what I found has happened to me is I've made things a habit because of temptation bundling. Dishes might not have been a habit if I just sat there in the lonely, quiet, cold, and scrubbed dishes, which I didn't enjoy. Now it's, listening to a podcast, my brain is just getting smarter and smarter every time I do the dishes, so I'm filling it with knowledge. So one thing about temptation bundling that was in this specific podcast that was interesting is they've done a lot of studies on it and used it as an incentive, and there's all these neat innovations that may or may not come out of the studies. One of the specific ones they did was they had a study of students who all said that they wanted to go to the gym more. And so they said, okay, show up on this day, we're going to give you all iPods, but you're going to store them here. They let them pick between different ebooks, and they had ebooks that were really pulled you in, and you wanted to know what happened next. And I think it was Hunger Games and something else were really popular during the time of the study. And so, as you might imagine, people are more incentivized to go when they've listened to these first few. And I can't get access to this until I go back to the gym. And I have to be doing gym-related activities while I'm listening to the next step. So it was extra motivation to get to the gym the next day. Some of the cool innovations that were discussed, and this person who did the study thought would be a good idea, is we've got all this technology like geo-tracking, where you can restrict access unless you're in a certain area. So this person talked about, instead of Netflix, if there was a Gymflix. You had certain programs that you were not allowed to access or listen to unless you were in the geo area of the gym. So really neat stuff. The title of the podcast was When Willpower Isn't Enough. And I wanted to share it with you guys today because I thought it was a really cool idea. So when you think about something that you don't necessarily enjoy, think about how you can use temptation bundling to partner with something that you really do enjoy and gives you instant gratification to make both of those things more enjoyable. Thank you.